Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the second episode of the 1943 scenario in the Endsieg mode. So it seems that having pulled back my my armies behind the Dnieper and the other rivers caused the AI, the Soviet AI, to keep constantly attacking my troops, and maybe because I gave the Soviets such a large order of battle, I think that the Soviet production means could not just keep up with the losses, because by constantly winning those defensive battles, I slowly observed how the strength of the enemy divisions was gradually and progressively plunging down. And this, I think, reached, let's say, the bottom of the barrel, because at some point the Soviets stopped launching attacks on the southern front. They tried to break through my lines on the central front, on along the big salient facing Bryansk and Moscow. But even there, at some point, they just give up. And I think that let's say the proof of this was the fact that in Norway, the Armee Norwegen, the Army of Norway, could simply advance and at some point even split up the enemy forces trapped between the I don't know, this. I think it should be the Kola Peninsula. And with this success in mind, I was like, okay, maybe it's time again to stop playing on the defensive and try to go a bit on the offensive. And to do so, I just disbanded the holding the line order that was standing there. And I regrouped my panzer armies, the one of Guderian in the south, and the one of I don't remember the guy, I think Asso von Manteuffel, along the small salients, the small bulge facing eastward. Having split up the Soviet forces in the Kola Peninsula, I also divided my army of Norway, ironically led by General Andrei Vlasov, into two branches, which were tasked of one in marching eastward and the other one attacking southwards. And with this in mind, I decided, okay, let's plan the let's say the strategy that with me always works, which is as you know, the pocket strategy. And the pocket was very simple. Von Manteuffel's panzer army was to strike eastward and then southwards towards Voronezh, while Guderian's 1st Panzer Army was to strike first eastward and then northwards. Once again, the Luftwaffe provided what I call the beloved air superiority and close air support. The attack started well. Guderian's troops simply overrun the thin crust line of enemy divisions, and then they just rushed towards the objective. While in the north, von Manteuffel's panzers did face quite a few problems, namely, I think because the Soviets did have quite a few number of mechanized corps down there, and only with the support of some infantry, they von Manteuffel's panzers finally managed to break through. And as this offensive was ongoing, the Allies, as you may have seen, decided to launch a second Operation Husky, because this time they did not go for Sicily, but they went directly for the Italian capital, Rome. I must say, I was not expecting that, and if the developers of the Endsieg mod scripted the AI to launch an offensive towards Rome, well, well done, really, well done, because not only I was too busy in facing the offensive in Russia, but I thought, okay, maybe the Italians can handle the defense of their homeland. And, well, as it happened in real life, the Italians just could not handle the defense of Italy. And on my side, I also did the mistake of not redeploying I think it was the 15th Army, the army in the reserve, in the Obi West, which was just standing there doing nothing. And to make things even worse, Finland, first of all, signed a peace deal with the Soviet Union. And again, I did not see it coming, and all of a sudden, Vlasov army of Norway became completely trapped in the Kola Peninsula. And as such, I was like, okay, now what should I do? Luckily, the Soviets did not have enough, or not enough, but a sufficient high amount of troops, and this allowed me to rush 1 or 2 divisions towards the port of Murmansk. And as in the south, I was enjoying with a bit of sadism the collapse of the Kharkov big pocket. I began to worry a little bit about the development of the Italian situation. But then I was like, yeah, sure, the Italians are launching some counterattacks. I'm sure they will regain their territory. I completely ignored the warnings of the amphibious invasions, as well as the need to bring air superiority over northern Italy. And yeah, this also kind of tricked me, because I was like, if the Italians have air superiority, I mean, they should be able to hold the lines and hold their ground without the need of sending more troops. I also did a mistake of sending 1 division of the 19th Army, the only army which carries 20 divisions, in the Crimea, because I saw that the Soviets were advancing into the Crimea. But still, spoiler alert, nothing too bad happened in this regard. And as in the north, the rush for Murmansk proceeded, Finland stabbed me in the back, and what was known as the Lapland War began in late September 1943. And yeah, this again caught me a bit unprepared, and luckily also the Finns did not have enough divisions on the new border, and this allowed me to micromanage a bit my troops to ensure that at least the port of Murmansk could have been liberated, therefore allowing my troops to receive some much needed supplies. And in October 1943, as I saw that the Soviets just did not have enough divisions in front of Guderian's Panzer army, I decided to launch the attack against the Caucasus. And Guderian's Panzer just rushed forward, facing absolutely no opposition at all. I have to mention at this point that one interesting thing about the Endsieg mod is that it also recapitulates the partitioning of Iran between the Allies and the Soviet Union. Okay, so here the worst that could have happened, which is that Italy just flipped side, and because I did not have any division in Italy, I found my southern flank completely exposed. And with all of my attention diverted on the Eastern Front, I had to rush finally I realized I had it, the 15th Army, split it into 2 groups, 12 divisions on the Alpine, let's say Austrian Alpine front, and the other 12 on the French border. And I also decided to sign Paul Hauser, even though he's not really the best suited for this kind of division. to this kind of command to lead the 15th Army. And let's say, since I didn't want to launch a big thrust towards the Kazaki steppe, yeah, I decided, okay, let's just throw Guderian's panzers in the Caucasus, because I wanted to deprive the Soviets of their precious oil, as well as I wanted to get it for me. And in the north, having opened a safe supply line for the army of Norway, I decided to split Finland into two by manually orchestrating an attack towards the North Sea. And yeah, so this kind of marked the end of my plans. Interestingly, I have to say, I didn't notice it. In the Endsieg mod, the Caucasus mountains are almost impassable, nearly impassable. There are just 3 or 4 mountain passes. So either you are lucky if you want to invade the Caucasus, or I fear you will be bogged down in a really horrible, I would say, war of attrition on those mountain passes. And yeah, with Kruger army, I just finished off what remained of the Soviet army in the Caucasus, and as always, I was busy in southern Russia. The Italians tried to invade Austria, and yeah, I think more will come in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned.